Hey Canucks fans, I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clay Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, April the 3rd. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe, you're healthy, and I'm excited to bring this vlog to you today because I'm trying something different. Once a week or once every couple of weeks, I want to bring on someone else with me in my vlog. Don't worry, I'm not going to make them sit in my car, physical distancing and all. But I did an interview over Zoom with now a good friend of mine, Vanessa Jang. And you may know Vanessa from her wonderful creative work on Twitter. She's a master of memes, of polls, of Photoshop, and she's put a few posts up, especially in the last few weeks, that have got Canucks fans talking in a good way. And it's got Canucks fans still expressing their creativity, their knowledge, their passion for the team and of the team, but in a way that kind of unites Canucks fans, as opposed to sometimes Canucks fans get a little bit argumentative on Twitter. You might have noticed that. But Vanessa has a knack for bringing Canucks fans together through her creativity. So that really comes out in this interview, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you follow her on Twitter at Vanessa Jang. So please enjoy this interview with Vanessa, and when it's done, I'll come back and end off with a couple of closing words. Jang. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Clay.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. You're almost glowing in that white room. It looks beautiful.
Am I? Yeah, I turned on all the lights just for you.
Okay, thanks. Well, I'd hate to think what you're doing in the dark, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here. I've been following you for a long time on Twitter. I saw today you passed 2,500 followers. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And it's not just about numbers, of course, but it is one sign that actually people are engaging with your content, which I'm sure you're thrilled about, and I know we'll get a chance to talk about in a second. So if you're watching this on YouTube, which I'm sure you are, make sure you follow Vanessa at Vanessa Jang on Twitter. All right, Vanessa, tell us a bit about yourself.
So I am going into my last semester at SFU. The whole COVID pause kind of put a wrench in my plans, but planning to graduate in the summer and then hopefully find a job in sports marketing. That's kind of my goal.
And is that what you're studying at SFU, sports marketing?
I'm doing communications.
Okay.
But I've done a couple co-ops in marketing.
Right.
And that's definitely my field of interest right now.
So an ideal job for you, given that you're going to have a degree in communications and you want to go into sports marketing, what's an ideal job for you?
I'd say manager of a pro sports team's social media. Yeah.
Well, I think you
kind of developed my craft, I'm developing my craft in that right now. So.
Awesome. Well, you're very good at it already, and I know we'll get into that in a few minutes. But first, let's just kind of set the stage. How long have you been a Canucks fan, and what do you remember about when you became a Canucks fan?
So I think my first exposure was probably in like grade 1 or 2. In elementary school, they'd always have the province newspapers out at the front table. So, and like when you're that young, you don't really know anything about the news, right? So then I'd always flip it to the back where they had sports, and there'd always be a Canucks headline, and then I'd like read a little bit, and I still didn't really know much about the Canucks. But then, yeah, I guess like in 2011, that really kind of skyrocketed my fandom. Now here we are.
Wow. Do you remember a favorite player or two when you're younger? And I get that I'm probably, I already know that I'm about 20 years older than you. So people already know that I'm 45, so they can figure out how old you are. Actually, it's more than 20 years, but that's okay. Do you remember any of your favorite players when you were younger?
I really liked Brendan Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I watched enough to form like good opinions about how each player played.
Sure.
But I really thought he was really cute, so he became
as do many people. Yes.
Yeah. So I'd say he was probably my first favorite player, and then as we got into 2011, it was Bieksa, and then when he left, I really started to appreciate what the Sedins did for the community and the organization. So, yeah.
Wonderful. And your favorite player now?
Probably Pedersen or Besser or Quinn. I don't know. You can choose between the three.
They're very good. So speaking of this year's team, what was your, we don't have to go into stats right now and where they finished or all that, but what was your overall emotion and feeling when it became a reality that the season was indeed put on pause?
Pretty shocking, I think. Like I was following along Twitter when the whole NBA shut down.
Yeah.
And it just happened really quickly. And I think once that happened, I kind of knew the NHL would follow suit. And we thankfully did. So it sucks, but we're finding ways to go
Yeah.
through.
And I get asked this, I do these weekly live streams on YouTube. I get asked this every week, and my answer becomes a little more pessimistic, despite being the founder of the GLCPC, as you know, which
Yeah.
you're a lifetime member of. Do you think they're going to come back at all this season?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I know they're doing like the media tours and they're asking players what they want.
Yeah.
And like how the playoffs will be structured, but I don't know. I feel like this is going to go on until June, probably July too.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I think it's kind of too late for the season to. I guess I know Bettman said he wanted the Stanley Cup to be awarded with integrity, right? He really emphasized that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you can award it with integrity in a condensed playoff format.
No, I agree with you. And then in the same breath, and they're also saying they don't want to disrupt the 2020-2021 season. So you can't have one without the other. Like there's no possible way they're going to award the Stanley Cup in August, September and still not disrupt the next season. So it's tough. You might be right. They might not come back this season just so they can keep next season intact.
Yeah.
But who knows? I think the benchmarks, the goalposts are always moving, right? Every single day. So.
And you have the whole off season too, right? They have to go through the draft and free agency.
Yes.
So unless they condense that into like 1 week at the end of August, I don't think hockey is coming back this year.
It would be, but one way that you are definitely helping many fans, especially Canucks fans, cope is through your very, very creative Twitter account. And in fact, tell us what happened today. You put out something pretty cool today, and yeah, talk about today, and then we'll talk about your overall philosophy when it comes to Twitter. But tell us about what happened today.
Yeah, so today I've been working on it for a couple days. I put out a build your own team engagement campaign, I guess you'd call it.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically took players throughout the Canucks history and players who have really created a legacy for themselves.
Yeah.
And I kind of ranked them on a scale of like 1 to 6.
Yeah.
6 being the most influential, 1 being like they made a pretty good impact on the team.
Yeah.
And then I basically told fans, you have $21 and I want you to build your best team. So.
And it was creative because obviously you put a lot of thought into this because it wasn't just 36 players. It was 6 players at each of the 6 positions.
Yeah.
Right. At $6 amounts from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And that's why I couldn't find Bo Horvat on there.
Yeah.
And your explanation to me was?
It was that it was hard to I was choosing between him and Cliff Ronning at the end. But in order to kind of avoid the recency bias that I think a lot of Canucks fans would have right now, I chose Cliff. And also he was part of the 94 run too, right? So you can't really complain.
No, there you go. And I won't bore everyone here by naming all 36 guys, but I'll link to it, in the description. But it is brilliant, and I hope all of you watching on YouTube do check it out and maybe reply to Vanessa with your starting lineup. But for instance, in the $6 tier are Daniel Henrik, Pavel Bure, Matthias Olin, Quinn Hughes, and Roberto Luongo. And I don't think you can argue with any of those players. And if you're wondering, Pettersson's in a $5 range. You have JT Miller way down in the $1 range because there's so many good wingers ahead of him. So check it out. It is a lot of fun. And what are most people saying? Like, have you seen any trends in what people are replying back with?
Yeah. People really wanted to keep our current first line together. So you got Miller, Pettersson, and Besser making up all of people's choices. And people still like Luongo. Actually, I shouldn't say still like Luongo. They've always liked Luongo, but he's definitely a fan favorite. And defense is kind of all over the place. I think it's because we haven't really had like a bunch of elite tier defensemen.
Right.
So some people were like, why is BX ranked on the 3rd tier when Hamuse was way better? It's like it's very interchangeable among
for sure.
People
and that's why people are so excited about Quinn Hughes this season, obviously.
Yeah. For sure.
And Blake Price. Yes, Blake Price gave you some love.
Yeah, that was awesome. I saw him tweet about it earlier in the morning when I first posted.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe I'll get on hashtags, and then it happened, and then I texted my sister, and that was pretty funny.
That's all. Well, I'm glad that he does acknowledge good content. He was the one who ousted me from the Canucks Twitter March Madness poll.
Yeah.
You did get further than me. So tell me about you made it to the Sweet 16, right?
Yeah, me and 2 other Canucks Twitter ladies. So Sam and Georgia made it too, which was pretty fun.
So who did you end up beating, and who ended up taking you out of this thing?
So first round, I beat Andrew Walker from Sportsnet 650.
Yep.
And then Scott Rintoul,
Wow.
who I share a mutual connection with because I went to the same high school as his wife.
Very good.
So we exchanged some tweets about that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then J-Pat took me out by like a landslide.
Well, J-Pat would take anyone out. Do you predict him in the final?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see. I wouldn't be mad to go out to the champ. Yeah, but I mean, Luongo's kind of steamrolling through the entire tournament.
Yeah, and isn't there a Rick Dhaliwal Harman Dial matchup coming up pretty like today or tomorrow?
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. All right, so between spend $21 and make your best starting lineup, Canucks Twitter March Madness. There was also one that I saw. You did one of those. Here's like 10 or 12 tables of combinations of people you can sit with, or even animals you can sit with. Which table would you sit at? And I thought that was. How long did that take you to make?
Honestly, not that long. I guess my Photoshop skills weren't as precise as they usually would be. But I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe I'll just do all the players first.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, I think everyone's just going to choose Pettersson, Besser, and Quinn.
Right.
So then I started to think like, oh, what would make it a bit more challenging? And then I started to bring in John Shorthouse and John Garrett. And then, I might as well bring Murph. And then, I'll add Bieksa to that table because they have a funny relationship.
Right. And then you had a GM's table, right?
Yeah.
You had Aquilini by himself.
Maybe I put all of his brothers, but I don't know if people know that the Canucks are owned by a group of brothers, right?
And actually, I won't bore you with the story here, but I'm actually I wouldn't say best friends, but I'm acquaintances with Paulo, one of the brothers, and so he's helped me out with a couple things before. That's cool. And then you had the dogs, right, at one of the tables.
Yep.
So who won? Who won?
I thought it would be a landslide for the dogs, but people really like Cheech and John Shorthouse.
Wow.
Because of the food, and I know Murph posts a lot of funny videos and photos of them, right?
Yes. And you also, with your Photoshop skills, I know you're being very humble, but I know when you do it well, you do it very well. You can do quick and dirty as well. You also do stuff like with goalie equipment, right? With goalie masks and stuff. Tell me a bit about that real quick. Where's your love for that kind of thing come from?
I don't know. I always just really liked the creativity that went into custom goalie equipment.
Yeah.
And like even playing NHL 19 myself, I always liked designing the goalie equipment. So then I started to look through all the previous goalies that have gone through the Canucks. I was like, oh, like there's quite a range in like how extravagant or how simple goalies have been. Like I know Luongo in his final couple of years, they were always just white.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, I wonder if it's white because he's expecting a trade. He would want to wear his Canucks colors with that team. And then I know like Anders Nielsen, like he would always go like all blue.
Right.
Like, white. So it was like very stark contrast between all the different, and even like with the masks too, like Luongo again, he went more simplistic, like retro look. And others are like pretty crazy too.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So just before we press the record button, you were telling me that in the last month, you've seen your Twitter engagement and numbers really spike. Obviously, people are looking for fun stuff, but that's close to them, i.e. the Canucks. And so why do you think, do you think you're filling maybe a void that other people aren't doing right now? Or do you think people are finally appreciating even more your creativity? Like what do you think is behind this kind of resurgence or, this rise, so to speak?
Well, I follow a lot of other sports teams, and I like to see how they interact with their fans too. And I did a co-op with a marketing company who helps teams activate their fans.
Yeah.
So that really got me paying attention to like the strategy behind social media.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, like I kind of like doing that. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of using my own personal Twitter as a platform to engage the fans. So yeah, I do think there's like a little bit of a void. I think it's nice because like from a fan perspective, you're less what word am I looking for? You're less like you can be a bit more unfiltered.
Right.
Not that my content is like bad or anything, or that it
Never.
hurts the team, right? It's just
Yeah.
more, yeah, it's just fun being able to create content that I think, especially Canucks Twitter hasn't really seen before.
Yeah.
So it's fun to play off like different memes. And I know like some other accounts do that too, and it's really nice to see.
Yeah. But you're right though. It's almost an escape from this betting brothers versus the betting, the bitter bros versus the betting bros, or the whole positive negative thing. It's a really nice escape from all that, a chance to almost unite Canucks fans in something fun, something harmless, but a way for you to show your true passion for the team.
Yeah.
So speaking of this team, I get asked a lot too, and I love your thought. How many years away are we from a Stanley Cup, do you think? Maybe not winning it, but being a bona fide contender, winning the conference, or at least, getting to the third round of the playoffs. How far are we?
I think 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And like people kind of want them to win now, but
yeah,
like our young core is still super young. They're like 19 to 22, right? So
yeah.
I feel like they still need 3-4 more years to really mature. And then like, by the time they're 26, 27, 28, they should be in their prime, right? So
yeah. No, I'm with you. Actually, that's the way I answer. I say 2024, 2025, about 4 or 5 years from now, because you're right. Pedersen will be 25, 26. Hughes will be 24, 25. And that's when guys really come into their prime. So I think, I think you're right on with that. Exactly.
And even even with Bo too, he'll be 28.
Yeah.
And if you look at Ryan O'Reilly, who I think most people hope Bo would kind of play that role for the Canucks, right? He's 28 or 29 too, right? Yeah. So, and he won the Conn Smythe and the Selke too. So I think, 4 or 5 years would be optimal.
I'm with you. I love it. Okay. Lastly, when you're not doing Canucks Twitter stuff, when you're not studying, what are you doing for fun, especially right now? Or let's pretend pre-COVID times. What are some of your hobbies, and what are you passionate about aside from, your hockey team?
Well, I like to stay active. So I like to work out. I like to go for bike rides. And I really like to hike. So I like to be outside and get the heart rate pumping.
Well, Vanessa, that is awesome. You got my heart pumping with your awesome answers and your wonderful work that you're doing on Twitter. So thank you. So Vanessa, where can they follow you on Twitter?
Yep. My handle is @Vanessa Jang.
Oh, that's nice and simple. Your first and last name.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for joining me, and good luck. We'll be following all of your creative exploits on Twitter, and stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me, Clay.
Anytime. God bless you.
You too.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that chat with Vanessa. You can tell she's very smart, she's very articulate, she's engaging, she's fun, she's witty, she's creative, she's passionate. All those things really came out in that interview with her. And I hope you support her on Twitter @Vanessa Jang as her account continues to grow. And I look forward to bringing on more people like Vanessa, more people here in the future, to chat with them about their fandom, their creativity, and ways that they bring smiles to other Canucks fans' faces. So leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you thought about that interview. Anything that Vanessa said stood out to you, or maybe you've seen some of her work on Twitter. Maybe you can affirm her down below as well. Leave a comment. I will read, react, and reply as always. Subscribe if you like this video, if you like to. Be safe, be healthy, take care of yourselves and of one another. Thanks again for watching. God bless. Go Canucks, go.